Welcome back to Critical Hit Last Chance. We are here in episode 3. I am your game master, Mark DeLucchi, and today we're going to explore the world's baseball, the land of the baseball gods, Dungeons & Dragons. What is happening here? The people trying to figure it out are these wonderful players, and I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you about the players they're playing, characters they're playing. Let's start over here.
Awesome. My name is Eric Sutton. I'll be playing Davis Bishop Jr., a young kid who's gone viral multiple times. He once
always the first line.
Always. He's had a stint with the Pittsburgh Artificers and just can't get out of his own way. But right now he's learning a lot about sort of what lies within him and is really interested in the new world that he finds himself in.
Boom. I am Alan Mark, and I am playing Cannon Strong, a 44-year-old former player, now retired, and looking into getting into coaching into the big leagues. He was just now a level 2 paladin here, so that's what I'm doing. And then meeting my dad. We'll see how that goes.
Hey, I'm Chantal Tubin. I am playing Lily Lewis, the 28-year-old left-handed pitcher. Also Ranger level 2. Some of us got to level up last round. She is recovering from injury, trying to find her place back in the baseball world, but also dealing with a lot of self-doubt and figuring out kind of how she can make her way. So I'm excited to see what this world brings for her as well.
Yeah, so last we left off, we can just recap last episode, I think, real quick. Last episode we had the 3 players coming on the heels of waking up in a place that was unfamiliar. They went to bed believing they were going to wake up competing, or in the case of Cannon, judging some form of reality show where the winner would win a spot with the Oakland Dragons in the Collective Baseball League. And instead, they woke in a much different place, a much more horrifying place, a much more horrifying moment. So they found themselves in these pods and were awakened in them as there was a monster attacking people left and right. They ran and ended up in the land of the baseball gods, and what they were told was that they were in an afterlife. An afterlife, despite the fact that they were not dead, that they were essentially the souls had been severed from the physical bodies on Earth. They explored the world, learned some things about the way it went down, or I should say, Lily and Cannon learned a lot. Davis was mostly focused on getting back, but focused in a way that isn't necessarily the best with listening. So we're actually going to start back with Davis, as you are being held on one of the angels you all have come to know named Flash, who is flying you back in the direction from which you came, because where we left off was actually not in the land of the baseball gods. We'd gone to sort of a different nation in this afterlife. We'd gone to the library, which turns out to be more than just a building, but turns out to be a place. And you're flying there with Flash, who's just going, you see, again, long, flowing hair, just whistling in the wind. I'm going to let you roll either a perception or arcana here with advantage.
I'll roll Arcana.
Roll twice and take the higher.
14 plus 1, 15.
15, okay. I think the thing you noticed, again, you had wandered off, and in that wandering had wandered through different villages and towns and stumbled upon a desert-scape sci-fi expanse, and you saw a monster a lot like the monster you'd encountered earlier in the day, and a bunch of these zombified souls attacking the few living souls left. You'd run, and Flash had flown and grabbed you, saved you going back. And in that process, Flash had done some things, seemed to cast some wild magic to create almost like a flood, and again, is currently flying with you at a pretty rapid speed. And one of the things you noticed when you first saw Flash, again, the chest is always, again, fully out baseball jersey, no buttons, earrings dangling, lots of chains. But you notice on a DC 15 Arcana check that the earrings look a bit duller now, and the necklace, and many of the accoutrements, many of the piercings and things that Flash has aren't quite as vivid. And I think and the other thing is you feel that tether, almost that the magic within you. It is still there. But it's not quite feeling as connected to Flash as it did earlier in the day. What does Davis say to Flash, or does Davis say anything to Flash while y'all are flying back?
Yeah, I think Davis was feeling really excited about the moment. I think he was like, after seeing Flash hit that ball over the, wherever, 500 yards a while ago, he was like, this is one of the coolest beings I've ever met in my life. Sees a lot of who he wants to be in Flash. And so I think in this moment he's starstruck by flying with Flash. And it's almost like when you meet a player you really want an autograph from, but instead of getting an autograph, you get like a day with them in a sweepstakes. That's what it feels for Davis right now. He's very excited. And so I think he looks up at Flash and he's like, dude, how'd you get here so fast? How'd you know where I was?
Some people always know how to find the action.
I'm one of those people. You're absolutely right. And he's like, feeling the air on his face, and he's like, do you just do this all the time?
Do I do this all the time?
Yeah, you just fly around like this world like this all the time?
No.
You just came to save me.
Yeah, because you wandered off, and I figured if I let you wander for too long, you'd probably get in some trouble.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it trouble, but
what do you think would have happened?
I mean, I ran, so I'm sure there's been some type of slaughter happening with that, whatever beast that is. But now I know what I can tell the other people. I know what I can tell Lily and Cannon is happening out here. There's a lot of crazy stuff I think I found that we need to see.
Do you know how far you traveled?
Probably a couple miles. I don't know.
And you realize as you're like being flown back, Flash is flying you in, and you feel like it's much faster than you were walking.
Yeah.
And yet it feels like for you, it's like you're traveling slower, like you're covering less ground flying back than you did walking. And Flash, it honestly actually is not looking at you probably while this is talking.
Yeah.
He's mostly looking forward, kind of you're just like some here. And goes, it always will draw you toward it. You understand?
And Davis looks at him and he's like, well, I'm not scared of a fight.
Not every fight needs to be had. Not every fight can be won head on.
I think he's taking that in as like a mentor moment from Flash. But I think instead of like responding with any sort of like humility and kindness, I think he's like, like why's your drip so dull? Like what's going on? Like it's not shining like it used to.
Because I had to use its power to get you out.
What do you mean use its power?
You know that like flood wave I made happen?
Yeah.
That's from these taps the earrings. I can't do it all the time. I can do it once every once in a while. I had to use it then.
How can I get an earring?
You know what? Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, cool. Come on now. 8 + 2 is 10.
10. Okay. Flash goes, Davis, you're a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to trust you with the ability to make an incredibly... I'm not at that point. I don't think you're at that point in your journey where we can be giving you that kind of trust yet.
I don't think Davis is offended by that. I think Davis is like... it feels like banter with like a college mate to him. He feels like he's more in love with Flash now that he's seen some of that dim. He just starts laughing. He's like, okay. like whatever you think.
Yeah. After a bit, there's some quiet in there, and Flash goes, I always loved the time you walked the first 2 bases after your home run.
Yeah, I was pretty cool. I saw you looking at some highlights of yourself earlier.
Hey.
That's dope.
You want to be the best, you gotta watch
That's
the
what
best,
I'm saying!
You
You want to be the best, you gotta watch the best. So who's the best?
Me.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
One of us is flying, and one of us holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is your domain, but like, in mine.
Oh, so you think on your... So
Exactly.
you're telling me on your domain
It sounds like...
that you like hit balls 500 feet, and like
I mean,
you like fly around
guessing
and
gravity
like
works a
the
little
world,
different.
you know, like everyone like looks up to you like that.
He's laughing on the inside because he feels himself being bested, but he like is enamored by Flash's like, I don't know, similar type of like swagger. And so he's like hysterical on the inside, but he just like laughs a bit on the outside and
Yeah.
chuckles.
I think at one point Flash sort of says, "There's nothing wrong with going your own way, but you have to know when you're getting in your own." Kind of flies. That's the silence there. And actually, as you're seeing what is this like massive building, like again, I described like the interior, like almost like European church-esque, but like the size, it has that kind of architecture look, but we're talking like the size of a Costco warehouse. Like we're talking like a massive expanse. It's where you come from, and because you start passing like all those cafes and
Yeah.
coffee shops and different places in there, and you pull in, and actually make me one last like perception check just to like look around as you go.
Could I also like roll perception to see how Flash is feeling? Like, is Flash scared? Is he,
You
like,
you are always welcome to roll insight on any characters, and
Okay.
again, if there's any magic or anything too you want to use your character abilities, you're welcome to just let me know.
Okay, cool. 15 minus 4 is 11.
Yeah. Is that insight or perception?
It doesn't.
Are you no, I know, but
Oh.
are you focused on? Are you more interested in learning things about the place you're in, or learning things about Flash?
Let's do the place for now. I can come back to Flash later.
Cool. I think as you're flying back, you see like in these places like all these people like you like look into like coffee shops. You see like people with typewriters, people with laptops, people like with a bunch of notebooks sprawled out. You see in some there's like poetry slams going on. You see like all these different like it seems like all these people like writing stories and like performing stories. You see there's like outdoor, like on the roof of some coffee shops, you realize there's like theater stages where people are like performing shows. And again, much like in Land of the Baseball Gods, like there are also just people like milling about. There's people just like watching the shows. There's people just like chatting it up. It looks like it's a lived-in space. You know, it doesn't look like people almost trapped in like an eternal thing.
Yeah.
And as you're flying back, as you're getting close, Flash leans down, and yeah, I think Flash would lean down, like leans over, puts their left hand on your chest as they like very quick turn towards the building, and as they do, you feel that tether reconnect, and you feel it stronger. They don't say anything about it, but you feel almost as if they've transferred something to you. And now David does become
Yes,
Two bar.
we made
Who
it.
needs books? I guess.
Right, who needs books? Not me. Very
yeah.
cool.
So you now have 3 level 1 spell slots, so you can pick out some other spells in your time.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm gonna say that I think, I think that we pull in, we return to where Lily and Cannon were. You see the other 3 angels you've come to know, Ray, Kathy, and Dave, and you also see 3 kind of wild-looking figures who Lily and Cannon know as Fiction, Write, and Speak. Again, Fiction, this like long suit, very artsy, but like very like thin, like almost 2-dimensional in thing. Write, like very like older, hunched over, and has like a roll of paper coming off their left arm with a cane, and you notice there's like a long expanse almost of this like paper in the background. You see it's covered in scribbles. And Speak is there. So you all rejoin the group. And yeah, what does? No, actually, I don't think Davis would get a shot. I think Flash would pull in and goes, y'all, we gotta move. There's a sci-fi village, like about 5 miles east of the border. It's already lost. I think we gotta get going to. I think if we're gonna make a move, we gotta go now. You see, for the first time since you've seen them, Fiction like has a emotive reaction, like turns very quickly and reacts in a way that you have not seen them react up to this point, and goes back. Can we teleport? And Flash goes, I think we still have time to. And they all start leading you up in a direction. Once again, the like 7 sort of elder statesmen here kind of like go off and just start moving and like trust you all to follow. So you 3 are kind of left here in this space behind, if y'all want to have any interactions, but they are just kind of going.
Yeah. Is Cannon's dad still?
Oh, sorry, yes, and Cannon's father is with the group. So yeah, Davis, you see in about mid-30s man who looks quite like Cannon. But yeah.
Okay.
Where did you go?
Yeah, what
Where
happened
were
to you?
Yo, it was the coolest thing. I was flying through the air, and I mean, me and Flash were flying through the air, and there's a lot happening. The village out there, it's really cool. People were like writing stories and a lot of performance, and that reminded me of my siblings. It was, yeah, just a ton of cool stuff. What y'all want to know? Like, Davis is not like seeing the event that happened with the grouse as like the big thing that happened. He's like, this moment that I had with Flash, and like I saw this cool stuff. Like that's what's top of his mind.
Well, while you were walking around, we figured some stuff out about this monster that attacked us, and
Oh, let me guess, y'all read some books?
Yes, we read some
nice.
books. We're in a library.
Nice.
We read some books.
Nice. So lay it on me. What'd you learn?
Yeah, I guess we would recount the information we got
Yeah.
from
and
session
I'm
2.
imagining we're gonna be like pretty mean about it.
100%. I'm gonna ask. No, I'm not gonna let him roll. I'm gonna say Davis can take in that information. We don't need to make him roll a wisdom check.
Thank you so much.
We'll say, even on a 3 wisdom, you can get something.
Yeah, but I guess with that information, I also just want to go to Davis and be like, you got to be careful out here. It's like, this is real, like without words, real stuff we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I can't have you going out there and like getting yourself killed.
Davis is like, he cares about me.
You say that
that's
loud?
nice, yeah. He's like, oh, that's nice. But he says it to other people. He's like, ah. He's like, there's some crazy stuff out there, though. I saw one of those big things. The thing we saw that was like, stabbing people was out there.
You saw another one?
Yeah. It's just like, I was doing the same thing. I was like really, really close to it. There's people running in terror, and there's like these zombie things come in, but Flash took us out of there. It was like that. Like he got us, and we were flying around, so it wasn't really a big deal. But
It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah,
You're lucky Flash got there in time for you to get out,
Yeah,
because
did you
those
have a
things are no
plan?
joke.
I mean, my plan was to run away. I was running when Flash got there. Everybody else was too. Did y'all know about that?
Yeah, we learned that we just told you.
You knew about the whole thing? The
Yeah.
whole time?
The whole time
Well,
we
y'all
were,
don't want to go out there. Y'all don't want to see that.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do to get.
Did you guys get a developed plan or something? Because
Well, we're following the angels.
And you see at this moment, as you're talking, you guys have like come into a room, and you realize, as sort of you're so distracted in conversation, that you're standing atop, like you're brought into sort of a room, and the floor, you realize, looks like the leather cover of a book. And you see that Fiction is like they're all standing on kind of the outside. Fiction goes, "Well, get ready to see it." Claps his hands, and out of his 2-dimensional form, like you see him extend in a circle around the room, light flash, and you are inside a building that actually. I'm going to say you all are inside what looks like the interior of like a spaceship. There's no windows outside, but there's all these, it's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of giving submarine a bit. But yeah, all these, you see like levers and like things, like you recognize this stuff very immediately. You see Fiction speak and write, dart for, there's like a sort of corridor down, and they like start climbing a ladder down. You hear a pod open. I'm going to say, I think Dave, actually no, I think Ray, Flash, and Kathy all run up. Dave stays behind, says, so we can take the lead on this. If y'all want to help out, you can, but also feel free to stay back. And Dave's going to kind of waddle over and begin climbing down. What do y'all do?
I think we should stick together no matter what we decide to do.
I agree with that.
that's cool with me.
All right. guess we should follow suit. Let's follow them.
Davis is like the last one to walk. Like he's like really standing there because he does not want to go back outside. Actually, like, fully does not want to go back out.
Cool.
I want to see if I noticed that.
Nope.
Nope. Let's go.
Yeah. Cannon, your dad's following you. The four of you ladder down. Davis, ladder down. I'm going to ask everyone here to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
6.
22.
Nice.
Hold on to
I
those
don't
numbers.
love
Cannon.
it.
I got to roll for a bunch of NPCs over here, so we're going to be a
Yeah,
minute.
you built yourself 8 NPCs.
We're combining them. We're for sure. There's some composites happening here. All right, Davis, what was your initiative?
10.
Cool. Cannon,
18.
18. Cool. Your father's going to go on your turn as well. Lily,
22.
cool. What is Lily's dexterity?
Plus, or 16, or plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay. Despite all of these incredibly powerful people, Lily, you are first to act in initiative.
Oh my goodness.
So, no perception checks necessary. You're welcome to roll checks on your turn if you want to try to glean other things with specific questions. But the first thing you see, Davis, you recognize you are back. You were teleported to the ship that you saw
Gotcha.
in the bay being worked on when you were first here, and you've climbed down into it. You see that in the mid, like sort of in again. This sci-fi scape it's in that like Star Warsy like Wild West adjacent Star Wars like kind of place. Like it would be in genre for there to be tumbleweeds flying by as well. And so in kind of like the middle of the I guess what would be road, but it's just like sand in the middle of the town is a grouse. You see inside the buildings, which again there's like saloon, there's like I think what are the sheriffs like things like that that are in keeping with the genre. There are again the like zombified souls that you see sort of all just like lightly there, and you see they're all kind of engaged in the space, very like just like nothing seems intentional. You know what I mean? Like it's very like almost going about the motions of doing said activity. So that's what Lily sees from the jump.
From what we learned in the when we were reading
in the books
that we read, can like the
Grouse weaknesses
zombie
or zombie stuff.
Yeah, for the zombies, like I understand that they are souls, and I know that his daughter has turned into one. What happens if you attack them? Like, do I have an understanding of
like what? Yeah, if they can be cured or if there's something like that.
Or, yeah.
I'm gonna say, and since both of you read, I'll give you both. You can roll either history or medicine. And I'll say also, you both could roll, or one of you could give the other advantage on that roll. Either way.
I'll give you advantage.
Cool.
Okay. It's the same for both of them. So 18 and 6. So dirty 20.
Okay. A 20 is enough to know. The first thing you know is that you can do damage to these things, and in fact, even to cure them sometimes, damage needs to be done, because the only way to repair, like the only way to sort of cure whatever it is this thing does, requires healing it to 0 hit points. These beings cannot, healing them for 5 hit points or hitting them with a sword for 5 hit points mechanically does the exact same thing. It's going to subtract 5 hit points from their total. So if they are brought to 0 with healing, they are like dropped into unconsciousness and will wake up essentially like as they would have been without that. If they are brought to 0 through damage, then there's a chance they are fully destroyed. But like as you sort of read about, again, there often are a lot of them. Like it's unclear.
All right. And then there's the groused in the.
And then there's the grouse, and I'd say, I think you were more focused on medicine. So I'd say the big thing is just like they're big, they're powerful, they're not like unkillable, like they aren't undestroyable, but yeah.
Okay, I think with that in mind, I will. How far am I from the groused versus the on the ground?
How far do you want to be?
I probably would position myself reasonably far back behind the 7.
Hey, look, I teleported y'all into a middle of the
Middle.
village. We're playing Theater of the Mind. I'll let you guys choose how far do you want that ladder away to be away from the grouse that y'all have come down. I'll let y'all decide as a group.
I mean, ideally for me, somewhere within 90 feet.
Okay, let's do like
Yeah,
60 feet.
Yeah,
I think
60 is a great.
Y'all are 60 feet away on the ladder, and that's where we're going to start your. Like, y'all are just right in a line
Okay.
next to the ladder, so that's where you're going to.
I'll cast Long Strider on myself to start because I feel like I'm not sure. I want to see what the others do with the
how they deal with
souls
stuff?
before
Yeah.
make any
I
decision.
understand what you're saying.
So yeah, I'll cast Long Strider and then I will kind of remain where I am to be able to watch the field.
Sounds good. Cool. Are you going to take any movement, or are you going to stay where you're at?
Honestly, I think I'm just gonna stay where
Cool.
I'm at.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. In that case, next in initiative order, we got your 4 pals. All right. First thing that's going to do, you see Flash is beelining it for the grouse. You see takes the bat that was sort of pocketed out over their shoulder, and you see them they let out just in a wild scream, and as they do, their bat alights in like a bluish flame, and they are going to run up, and they are going to. Do they have any? Yes, they have one left. Okay, and you see the one remaining chain that had not dulled goes, and they are able to get 60 feet and take attacks in this round. So they're going to go there, and you see them begin laying into different shaped dice. Always. And you see them lay 2 hits into the grouse. You see they just begin going to work. Going to work on that one. Yeah, that's what Flash does. I'm going to say, I think Dave, you see, stands back and is going. I think actually Dave steps over to the side and looks to Kathy and says, "Kathy, show what you got." And you see that Kathy almost immediately, almost like seeming to like take energy from that, takes the ball that she has continued to be juggling at various points and snaps it into her right hand, and she is going to cast. I will say what you do see on the jump from this is all of these angels are immediately going for the grouse. They are ignoring the souls at this moment. And she is going to cast, Guiding Bolt, 100%. It's a nat 20.
Okay.
Kathy.
Kathy's eating.
Kathy's having a day. Cool.
Guiding bolt, let's go. Clever.
And then, actually, I lied. Ray is going to run over towards the closest souls that are like over toward the saloon, and you see Ray runs into the saloon. You don't see what happens behind there. Next in the initiative order is Cannon.
Hold on. She cast Guiding Bolt, and the grouse just.
I should say all these hits go into the grouse. You see some metal. You see some like metal gets dented. You see some like almost glass shattering. But that puppy's still moving. It got a lot of legs. It lost some, but it does not look.
Cool.
It does not look like it's about to collapse. It looks like it's going to come back fierce. Cannon, it is your turn. On your turn, I think. Actually, no. What is Cannon going to do?
I want to do a quick like perception check to see is this the same grouse and the same zombies that were in our that attacked our like little area
100%.
that we got in. Just to see. Well, I'm definitely looking for
100%
a specific
looking for
person.
Yeah.
Okay. 18 total.
18
Oh
total.
wait, sorry, no. 17.
That's honestly, this grouse looks identical to you. I will say in your reading about it though, it doesn't seem like they end up that different too often. you're trying to sort of find something to like identify it by.
Mm-hmm.
And let me roll a luck check to see. Yeah, no. So it doesn't seem like you're able to find something there. I will say in the souls, you do not see any familiar faces in what you can see. You're a bit far off, but even at a distance. And I will say there's even a level of like a lot of the people you saw like had uniforms on and these people don't.
Okay.
And so you do not think that this is the same groused or the same people.
Got it. Yeah. Do that quick look and be like, all right, well, we got to help out somehow. And I guess, like, remembering how you manifested a baseball earlier, I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to manifest just, like, what's a good snack or something? Like individual bags of, like, sunflower seeds or something. So I get 3 total, toss one. Are you still there or did you move as well? Okay. Toss one to both of you, and then 1 over to my dad. And then with that, we got to stay charged up.
I am sorry.
Oh.
There's a lot I got to remember, and I forgot something very important, because what Dave did for Kathy was a bonus action. Because on Dave's action, let me do something real quick right here. On Dave's action, you see they actually have over their shoulder like a bag of gear. And he throws it down and hands each of you.
Ooh.
Oh.
Lovely.
This is for Cannon.
This is sick.
Yes. Sorry. He hands the 2 of you
This is very cool.
bats and you
This is so cool.
a glove.
Gorgeous.
I'm going to give you a moment to read the effects of those. If you want to read them out loud, you want to read yourself, that's perfectly fine. But then I'm also going to ask you to describe what does this look like? How does it manifest for you? I'll say the characters don't know this, but you as the players, I'll tell you about board. These are made in the image of each of you.
I guess when I received this, it is the heavy hitter bat.
Lovely.
So mechanically, it adds +3 to all attacks and damage. And then I could also take -5 to the attack roll and to deal an additional 10 damage. And then on that 20, that deals double damage and can enable another character of my choice to take a dash attack or disengage or hide as a reaction, which is cool. And I guess when I receive it, I think, even though it's a heavy hitter bat, it looks like it's like a pristine, like wooden bat. I would say it, it's not smaller, but then it's like it doesn't look particularly like strong or like it'll beat down something. But in my hands, it feels a little like denser, I would say. But enough where I could swing it with a bit of ease, but then like there's a lot more like attack behind it. So I think looks-wise, it just looks like a normal bat, but then in my hands, and probably once it touches my hands too, like glows a little bit of like this like yellow light or something, and then it just feels right. So yeah, I think that's how it looks.
I love that.
Well, from Dave, I got the glove of quick pitching, a sleek glove that makes all balls that touch it deal a force damage in lieu of piercing damage when thrown. The glove adds +2 to attack and damage rolls, and on a missed attack, the wielder can expend their reaction to attack again. And then once per long rest, you can activate it to throw a boomerang curve to allow one attack to hit 1d4 additional targets within 20 feet of the target. And I think I'm imagining a glove. Obviously, it's a lefty glove first and foremost because it's been designed for me. But it is just absolutely caked in pine tar. It's almost dripping. And so any ball that goes into it, you get the best grip you've ever felt in your life.
Absolutely not regulation.
No regulation. And then when you activate it, I like the idea that kind of like the underlying magic for them. I'm going to build off of that too. When you activate the boomerang, it also kind of glows this yellow glow once per long rest.
I love that. I got Electrify the Crowd bat, which is super cool. I feel like, again, I'm taking part of what y'all said. I feel like it looks like a normal bat on the outside, but it's like super taped up. And it's reminiscent of his old bamboo bat that he used to use a lot when he was younger, like in his childhood. But it's splintered a bit. But as soon as he picks it up, it is glowing. But the electricity around it is blue. And the bat itself is shining gold, similar to y'all's. And so he's like, and he touches it, and he's like, ah, yeah, like this feels at home. And I would say the bat is like just, it's like Goldilocks, like just the right size, just the right fit. But it bends as he swings it.
You know, read through the mechanics as well as what it does.
Yeah. It gives +2 to strength and proficiency. I don't know.
No,
but
it's
also
+2 to attack and damage. That's the explanation.
+2 to attack
how you
and
would
damage.
add those things.
This modified aluminum bat has 3 charges. When an attack is using this bat hits, you can expend a charge as a bonus action to make a performance check. If the performance check meets the target's AC, the attack deals an extra 66 lightning damage in addition to the weapon's normal damage. You regain 3 charges every 1 round.
66.
Yeah,
Oh my
huge.
but
hoss.
needs to hit again on a performance check.
Yeah, I think I'll hit it.
Do you have proficiency in performance?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I want to see that. Damn, that's dope.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I'm sorry, it is now Ken's
no
turn and
problem.
you have that bat.
Great. So I have this bat now. I feel like, all right, well, we got to do our part to help. So,
Put some work.
Yeah. So I look around. It's just the 4 of us, I believe, here together. So all right. Taking into account how you manifested the baseball, I feel like, all right, what a help out. And then I manifest like 3 individual bags with like sunflower seeds. We're like, all right, we got to keep our energy up. Toss one to each of you 2, and then one to my dad. This is essentially the bless spell, so I will cast a bless on everyone.
Yes.
So just mechanically, bless up to 3 creatures within range, so that's the 3 of y'all. And then when you make an attack roll or a saving throw, while this spell is up, you can roll an extra d4 and add that number to the attack roll or saving throw.
So when Davis, Lily, or your father attack or have to make a saving throw, you'll get to roll your d20 and then roll a d4 on top of that and
Yeah.
add that to your roll. on
Just a
top.
little buff there.
love that.
So I keep the energy up, and then holding the new bat in my hand, I'm like, well, there's one thing we gotta do, and then I follow the angels through and just walk the 30 feet towards the grouse, and then I think that would be the end.
Yeah,
of
sounds
this
good. So
turn.
you're still 30 feet away at the end of your turn.
Yeah, and bless is concentration as well, so it'll be up
Every time you
for
take
a
damage.
minute, so
Yeah.
that's 10 rounds.
That'll be fine for this combat for sure.
Cool.
But if Cannon takes damage, you have to
Right.
roll concentration checks on that. Your father is going to. I don't think he's going to take a double move. I think he's just going to move with you. I don't think he's going to run. I don't think he's going to dash to be within the grouse range quite yet. This is a question I'll ask for Cannon. I will say that Cannon's father lives at the border of Library and the Land of the Baseball Gods.
Mhm.
What do you think, like, sort of describe to me, like, what sort of, again, he's in his mid-30s, like, what is the love or passion or thing that is true about your father's soul that, like, shaped him and brought him to that point?
I think like as much as he loved like the sport of baseball, and like that's a big reason why Cannon got into the sport so seriously as well. I think because he didn't turn out to be like a player himself.
Mhm.
Like it's more of, I think it's just really like the love of the game and like the stories that it tells
Mhm.
through like the star players, or just the drama of
Mhm.
of a game, that happens like 9th inning and it's 2-2
Yeah.
or something like that. So I think maybe he wouldn't consider himself one, but then I think he, in his heart, he's like a storyteller
Yeah.
and wants to recount these stories of baseball because he loves it so much and makes him happy. Like whether it's like the first game he may have went to when he was
Mhm.
younger, or watching Cannon's Little League games, stuff like that.
100%. And I think too, again, like there are people in this space who, for a storyteller to have value, there have to be people who listen,
Mhm.
and like I think that's very much like where your father's at, is like someone who is always willing to and able to absorb,
Mhm.
like I think probably honestly in the story of his life, that probably his soul at one time was deeply like in library, and then because of canon moved towards this border region. And that's not because of that's not a bad thing. It's because canon drew him to that space.
Yeah.
You know? And so what he's going to do is move 33 feet with you, and you see he takes out a binder, and he opens it up, and you see it is filled with baseball cards, and he slides 2 out, and he is going to like chuck 2 like ninja stars toward the grouse. The first one hits. The second one does not, sadly. But he's going to do a little bit of damage to grouse. Keep it going. And now it is going to be Davis's turn.
Cool. I don't know if I'm allowed to roll perception to see like my team, like how everybody's doing. Like
You see,
mentally.
no, you don't have to roll for that.
Okay.
Everything we described, they're all within your vision and stuff. You
Okay,
absolutely see
cool.
that.
But I mean, like more emotional. Like, is anybody like frightened? Anybody like nervous? How we doing?
Okay, then actually, yeah, that's just going to be a general insight to see if you
Okay.
can tell if anyone else is scared.
18
Minus.
minus 3,
Oh.
so 15.
15? Okay. I think that's good enough to. I'll ask like where are you at? I'll say this: the angels. I wouldn't say it's like they aren't scared, but like
Yeah.
they aren't not. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they're just focused.
They've seen this
I'd
before.
say fiction, write, and speak on a 15 insight because they haven't moved yet. They're still a little out in front.
Mhm.
They don't seem to be focused on the grouse. They seem to be dispersing to the souls.
Okay.
I'd say that's a 15 insight you get. And frankly, fiction, you don't think you could ever get a read on them. You know,
Okay.
They just
Cool.
they just seem deep in their own space. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then these two?
I would say, like, even though I try to usually keep it cool, like stoic and stuff, like, you know, I think you could see he's a little like hyped up,
Yeah.
because I think he's energized with the fact that he wants to save Cass, but also the fact that he's like standing there alongside his dad. So that's like giving him more, like, it's sort of any fear or concern that's washing away is now has sort of washed away, and it's now just like not adrenaline, but it's just like determination to be like, okay, well, we're here now. This is what's in front of us.
Yeah.
We just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Lily's definitely like pretty visibly shaken. I think, but it like, and I think during her turn, like you can see there's a lot of pause of like not knowing what the right thing to do is, and not wanting to do something detrimental. But once she puts the glove on, I think like it's suddenly kind of in an area of comfort for her. So I think it's definitely visibly shaken, but on the not like frozen in fear.
Okay, cool. I was asking because I was thinking about casting heroism to like imbue someone with more bravery, but I don't think we need that in this moment. I'm gonna ask one more question. Did Davis get to see Ray Denora, like go into the salon?
Yes, into the saloon. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant, and just have my Unseen Servant follow Ray Denora.
To see what is going on. In
Yeah,
there.
and report back.
Sounds good. So that's your action. Anything you do with your bonus action. I remind you do have Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, Bardic Inspiration, which is cool. I think I'll use that on Lily.
Cool.
Um,
How does that look? Like, what does Davis do to inspire Lily?
I think Davis is like, yo! Like, he's kind of shouting. And he's like, you got me twice. But, you know, our third match is coming soon. And hopefully he gets a laugh or something out of that. But he's like, and he's like, just like looking around, where he's like, we got this. And then he doesn't really move that much because he's still not trying to get into the action just
Cool.
yet.
So you're not going to use any movement. You're going to stay 60 feet back. I
I
will say mechanically.
I think I can go 30 feet.
Yeah, you can move 30. You're still
Yeah.
30 feet away, and then you could get within. So yeah. Just
Yeah, I'll go 30 feet.
Cool. You'll go 30 feet. It's a D6 Bardic Inspiration, right?
Yep,
That you can add
D6.
to any roll here.
you.
Cool.
Lily
So-
is gonna laugh at it. She thinks that's funny.
Oh yeah, I was like, you walk up to like where I am and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like close to you.
All right. I just
Yeah.
wanted you guys not running away this time.
Yeah, I think Davis was really inspired by
By getting
Cannon.
the sunflower seeds.
Yeah, getting the sunflower seeds, and I think he's also like he's a little bit reminded of his dad, seeing like Cannon and Cannon's dad, and then both going trying to save Cass. I think he's like, sort of reminded of like all his mess ups, and he really is like he wants to do really good by Canon. Like Canon's almost like someone who he sees as like, I want to follow you. So he's like, I'm here, I'm next to you.
Attaboy.
Cool. That is Davis's turn. Now you see that Fiction, Right, Speak begin going and like reach some of the souls. You see that Fiction does what you saw on the teleport and absorbs some of the souls into them. You see.
I'm sorry.
You see that Right is again moving much quicker, but not in a run. It's just this is happening faster. But you see, as they're writing, eventually some of the writing comes off the page and begins to quell some of the zombies out. And Speak is just yelling some play of some form at them, and is having a similar effect again. And the way that words were like shaking off behind them as you saw them, this time they come forward and almost like hit and do appear to do some form of damage. But again, as we've established, damage and healing, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. As they seem to begin working on trying to salvage and save some of these souls. And now it's the Grouse turn.
Oh.
And Flash is the only one within attack range.
Oh, poor Flash.
Oh man.
Okay.
He used one of his spells on you already.
I know. He's low.
Oh no. Oh, I don't
No,
like that look. I do not like that look.
stop.
Well, that's a nat 1 and a natural 6 on die for the Grouse 2.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go.
I like
Let's
that.
go.
That's a good look.
Yeah,
The
that's
DM
good.
being mad. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I was like a
It's
little-
scary.
I
It
was
has
scared
to
for
have some
Flash at
fear.
first.
It has to be some fear. Then all shag. Yeah, Flash. Okay. Yeah, you see Flash comes out the way. That's all you got. That's him just like swinging the bat, like, and uses the bat a little bit to like tap it away. And is that? Let's see. Do I have anything else?
really- Love that.
Yeah, no, it's all about hitting. Is it? No. Yep, it's gonna stay there. All right, that's round 1. We back to the top at Lily.
All right.
You're 60 feet away.
I'm 60 feet away. I will get. I'll come to where y'all are. So I won't use the extra 10 feet. And then I will cast Hunter's Mark on the
On the grouse, yeah.
grouse. So that's
No saving throw, right? That just happens, yeah.
No, that just
Yeah.
happens. And I think that's it. I'm just coming up
Okay.
and joining in.
You're gonna use an action to attack, or you want to?
Oh,
Hunter's Mark is a bonus action you can cast.
even when you first cast it?
Pretty sure. Oh, yeah, I think it's.
I think it's full.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Easy. Okay. I thought you. Yeah.
No, you
Okay.
still
Well,
have
easy. Then I will throw. I'm gonna take the throw.
Yeah. Go for it.
So it's 2 per action, and it's okay. Let's do all the math here.
Yep.
So there's a 17.
Nice
I think it's gonna hit, but
It's gonna hit. Yeah.
Do you want me
I can
to-
save you the math, but yeah, for going forward, it'll be 17 plus your
Plus-
dex, which is 3, so 20 plus proficiency is.
is
What's your proficiency bonus on your sheet? think
it's 3.
So,
it's 2. So that's yes, plus 5, and then
Plus
plus
5, and
2
then
from the
From
glove,
bow.
and
So
then
you'll have plus 7 on
plus-
the throw for this.
Are Blast and Bardic Inspiration both one-time uses, or are they?
No, so bless you roll. Yeah, I guess going forward. I mean, you don't
So,
need the
I mean,
D4,
you don't
but you
need
would
it, but-
add the D4 too. But you all. So anyway, you will baseline roll plus 7
Yeah.
on attack. Bardic you can choose to use, and you can actually you can wait to see if you succeed or fail.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
wait
can.
to see if you fail,
You got
then
it
you
for
can
10 minutes.
reroll it.
Or I don't think you can wait to see if you fail, but I think you can see the die roll, and then,
Yeah.
then I'll tell you, and then you can decide whether you use it or not. But
Yeah.
17 on the die. I already
Easy.
gave it away. You don't need to use your
Amazing. Let's roll some damage here. So it's 1d6 plus 5
Yeah.
with the additional. Okay, 8 damage,
Okay.
and then we do another roll for the second throw.
And you can add-
17 again.
All right.
Oh, that's a
Right
1,
there,
but
17
so
again.
6 damage.
6 damage.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
That's pretty good. You see, I think, quickly pinpoint that you see the area, the legs in which Flash hit. You start targeting that side, and you throw 2 throws, and you see it's like the grouse is now knocked like kind of off kilter. It's no longer even. It seems to be favoring one side as you take some legs
Oh,
out.
sorry. My hunter's mark gives me an extra 1d6 on each of those. That's a 1 and a 2. So an extra 3 damage there.
Nice.
But,
Take it down.
Okay. Cool. Next turn. That's
Oh, how does my arm feel, by the way? Do I
your arm has felt fine and never felt better.
Great. So I'm not feeling the injury.
There's no injury mechanic up here.
You love to hear it.
It just
We
takes
love
looking
to see it.
50 years old.
To get it down, yeah.
Okay. You see Flash after dodging the grouse attack, does a backflip and swings down to hit, but gets a little too caught in the backflip and just kind of misses as it falls as Flash falls down. Going for it. You see Flash has clocked that this thing is starting to get hurt, which has made Flash a lot cockier because they haven't taken any damage yet. I think, and because of that, I think Dave and Kathy are actually going to start moving towards. I think Dave is going to start. You see casting, like you see he's calling out at the souls, like, "Hey, stop messing around with people, okay? It's time for you to get in line, all right? We're a team here. We're a team here." And you see that some of them seem to be affected by that and are beginning to take some form of damage or healing or whatever that looks like. And you see actually, let me roll. And you see actually 2 of them like do appear to kind of like snap out of it and like fall unconscious. As Davis does not, but you 2 know is what's supposed to happen. Davis just sees Dave
sees
yell
bodies
and 2 people
dropping.
drop. And the unseen servant sees inside that inside Ray is like going up to these souls that are actually, and you see they are actually attacking Ray and they're attacking Fiction. They just appear to be not deeply affected by the damage that's being done to them. And Ray is reaching out and like hand on chest directly where those wounds are and is just applying healing to them. And you see that's what your unseen servant sees in that space. Kathy, you see, takes a ball, throws it, tries to take out the last leg on the one side it's the side it's favoring, and just misses. It's gathered off. No dice. You see Kathy goes, "I was trying to do that!" And next up is Cam.
Yeah. Guess I'm just gonna follow suit. Go the additional 30 feet up to the grouse, and then take that bat and just try to swipe.
Roll your attack.
For the -5 on the hit.
You have to declare that before you roll.
Before I roll.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use it.
Okay.
I think I'm just still getting used to how it's bad for this, even though it feels great. Okay. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Yeah, because it's +7. All right, 2d8. That could have been better. 9 total damage on that.
9 damage.
Yeah, so I go for the leg, do that, and then I don't think I have bonus action, so I'll just stay there.
Cool. Your father is going to wheel off the baseball cards, swings wide. Your father stays back, throws again. Oh, the D4, did they have a chance? I needed a 4, didn't get it. Davis, it's your turn. You hear commotion from inside from Fiction, right? And you see like Fiction, right, and Speak have all now like descended into the saloon with Ray. That all the souls that were outside have like fallen and they're in the saloon.
Okay, I think Davis looks at the salon. He's kind of like, "I'm glad I'm not over there, actually." And he looks and he sees that everyone's been teaming up on this grouse.
And this grouse looks hurt.
Yeah. And I think Davis is in between this place of like, do I want to be the one to take the big shot and take him out? And he's like trying to heed some of Flash's knowledge. And I think he casts True Strike. He just wants to see like where the weakest point of the grouse is. And upon learning that, he's going to shout it out to the team.
Sounds good. Can you read True Strike for me?
Yeah. You extend your hand and point a finger at the target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target.
Roll insight for me. I'm going to set the DC at 12, which means you have to roll pretty high.
Dang, that's tough. 18. I hit. 15. Or I got it. 15.
I'm going to say that as you go to cast True Strike, you hear flash in your head say, it won't need that long. Like saying you don't need to cast it. You're ready to go.
Okay.
And you see actually flash in your head says, it's all the same to it. Hit it anywhere.
Bet. So I use electrify the crowd.
Cool.
The bat.
So yeah, you run up and take your swing.
Yeah.
Roll a hit.
So it's 2 plus strength plus proficiency to hit.
I can come. Let me
Appreciate you.
do the
We'll
math.
we'll break this in the camera.
Yeah, it's it.
Okay. So I rolled a nat 1
Cool.
and a 2.
Cool.
Plus. It doesn't matter, does it?
No, it's not.
All right. I'm just gonna put those die
You're
back.
talking a big game about how good you rolled yesterday.
I'm just gonna put those die back. Do I have to roll for damage? I just sit here.
You didn't hit nothing.
It's
There's no
done.
damage to do.
It's
You
done.
rolling that one asking
This
you to
is
roll
so
for damage.
sad. Davis is smiling while he's doing whatever he's doing. Like very happy.
After all that math.
I know. So much math.
Oh
my God.
I was like,
Oh my god, that is.
I'm also gonna say the same thing that Kathy said.
Okay.
I meant to do that.
What does Davis do that is the reason you just eat shit
this is
on this
great.
attack?
So Davis is winding up the bat. He's twirling it, and he's like,
Just walking up.
don't worry. It's very much like Return to like the Davis y'all haven't seen in a day. Like he was doing pretty well the past like few hours, and he's stretching. The grouse is probably moving somewhat, and he like takes his split stance, and then he just brings a leg up and swings, but instead of hitting it, he like flips out, like all the way out.
I think it's one of the things is like you're aiming because Flash says like all hitting it anywhere is the same.
Yeah.
So you just go and swing for the closest thing to you, which is like
Yeah.
one of its legs out in front.
He just picks it
But
up.
this thing moves super quick. So like rather than you aim at a spot that just moves,
Yeah.
and then you just swing,
whiff.
fall, eat shit.
I see that one. It's not a fastball, kid.
He's like, I meant to do that. I'm just saving it for you.
Cool. That is Davis's turn, and the grouse does go next.
Oh no.
I'm so close to the grouse. I guess we got
Doesn't see you
wire.
as a threat.
Yeah, but definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, so whether it was the grouse would go for Flash, Cannon, or Davis.
The whole squad is there.
And I think
I'm away.
you ain't hit it. Flash hit it the first time. You just hit it, right?
Yeah, I think I was the last one to hit it.
Yeah, so I think it's going to go for Cannon.
Damn.
With its first attack.
That's the risk.
And that
I
one.
think that's good for us. Good for
That's
me.
another now one. And that's a 17 on the die. That is going to hit.
Okay. Sure about that? Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Yeah, there's a 22 hit.
To the that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay, I am going to need a Constitution saving throw.
Con save? Okay.
Here we go. Here we go, Cam.
Oh, man. Should have blessed myself. No, that's an 8.
Damn.
It's like a lot of sound.
That is. Cannon takes 10 points of piercing damage
Oh my
and
god.
7 points of poison damage.
Oh my god.
Okay.
How many hit points does Cannon have left?
1.
Oh my god.
You see, with the leg that actually Davis, I think as you missed, that leg had come up and stabs down into Cannon's left shoulder.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So when I roll for concentration, is that 1?
It's divided by 2, so it's going to be just the DC is 10 on that.
Okay, so it's not. That's 1 attack, not 2. Just two
Yeah, you
different
only
types
need
of
one.
damage.
It missed. It missed. It has 2 attacks. It missed the first. Hit the
Okay,
second.
just 2 different types of damage, I would say.
Yes.
Okay.
You have 1 hit point left.
Yes.
Okay, 14 on the die.
Cool. So you bless
Bless
stays
is still
up. And Cannon. Yeah, I don't think you've ever felt pain like you're feeling that.
No.
Oh
man, this sucks.
Dude's like, no.
And on that note, we're back at the top. Lily, it's your turn.
Enraged by seeing Cannon go down, I'm gonna take some more shots at
Yeah.
it. That's a dirty. No, it's higher than. It's a 27 to hit.
That hits.
A dirty
Oh,
27.
that's not
A
my
dirty
damage.
27.
Dirty 27. So it's 2d6 plus 5. 15 damage.
Okay, I want you to roll your second attack.
Uh, 12 plus 7, 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
6 plus 5, 11 damage.
Sprouse had 8 hit points left. You did 26. What happens?
Oh.
I think that like seeing the cannon go down in that way and having like knowing his daughter has been like affected the same way. I take it and I throw like a two-seamer just straight into like I imagine it just pierces straight through the metal on the outside,
Sick.
leaving like a smoking hole.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Goes right through, and you see it just kind of falls to the ground and slowly begins to deteriorate into that like green ichor that you guys saw on the security cam earlier, or I don't know, whatever we'll call a security camera. It's magical though. That you saw earlier.
A scry cam.
Scry cam, there we go. Earlier in the day, and we are going to come out of initiative. We are out of combat. What do y'all do? I'll say actually too. On that note, I'm going to let y'all do another round of either perceptions, investigates, histories. I'll let you do history or on the space as well to notice things as combat ends.
I'll do perception.
I'll do history.
It's a 14 on perception for me.
13 plus 2, 15.
Cool.
Yeah. What would the check? History or perception? Or was there
History,
anything else?
anything, investigate, like just to see around.
Yeah, I'll just perceive.
Not much.
Yeah, I didn't perceive much.
You have a massive wound on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
makes
it.
sense.
You're not
So
looking
I'm
at
perceiving the pain.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. You said 15?
Yeah.
14?
14.
Right, cool. One thing you're noticing is that as you see that Fiction, Ray, Wright, Speak all leave the saloon, and you see that actually just before they leave, there begins to like the buildings almost take on a richer hue of color. And I think Davis, in combat you didn't notice, but as like color begins to fill out the space more, you realize that it had been duller than when you first came here. Like when you first saw the place and then it had been taken over, it had been dulled, almost as if color was being like sucked out of it. And you see that, and you also see appearing in some places, like you realize even though this is like Wild West and sci-fi, but there's like bookshelves everywhere inside. And you see like just, and almost truly like, I think because you've been in like a place that you just adjusted to like these duller colors, feels like the brightest like book like covers you've ever seen in here. And on a 15 perception check, you are not the person who would actually notice this. You just, never mind. You just, see a bunch of books.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think Davis is noticing this, but I think he just sprints over to Cannon.
100%.
And it's like, I think he's like, I'm so sorry. No.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I think I'll be okay.
I think it's like, we're gonna fix
Cool.
this.
Dave yells out, "Nice going, kid. All right, just put some ice on that shoulder," and tosses you just tosses you an ice pack, and you put it on your shoulder, and it heals you for 8 points of.
Okay.
Nice.
Is Cannon poisoned right now?
Cannon is under the poison condition, which does mean you would have, I guess, you would just disadvantage on attacks right now. I think not skill checks on. I think one level. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh no, I'm thinking
that's
of
exhaustion.
exhaustion. No, disadvantage on everything. You should roll that perceptive disadvantage, but you already rolled bad. So yeah.
I'll see if I roll worse. No, it's better.
But yeah, so yes, currently disadvantage on that as well. You see that I think Dave comes to sort of rally the troops, or Flash goes off with like kind of the others, and they start like dragging the bodies like into
God.
inside spaces. They're just like moving and like clearing the streets is mostly what they're doing. They do not seem too bothered by everything that just happened. And Dave comes over. It's nice job, guys. Appreciate you helping out. You two came in real clutch. Davis,
Davis looking down.
Davis, you'll have your,
He's looking down.
Davis, taps you on the shoulder. You'll have your moment, all right?
He's just like, okay.
You'll have your moment. You gotta know your time's gonna come, all right? You worked hard. You took initiative. That's important, all right?
All right. You do something nice. You can't even get it done. He's like really mad about being kind and then like messing up as a result of that.
Yeah, he like wants immediate reward. For
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. I mean, do you guys have any questions or things you do in this space?
I'm probably just sitting there, like recovering like this.
Yeah, your dad has
So
definitely
much
come
worse.
over
Yeah.
and like really concerned, to sort of like takes his belt off, and, like wraps it around his shoulder, like doing like very like at home, like DIY, like
Yeah.
everything I can do.
Yeah.
You see, he's a bit more like looks at Dave like, can you do anything more? And Dave goes, I know this is gonna sound crazy. It's nothing that a night's sleep can't fix. Okay? And there's not really night here, but you can sleep here. Okay? So
Okay.
it's just trust me, you bear with it. All right? It's gonna be okay on the other side. Okay? Not other side like other side. Just
Other side of
other side of sleep.
On the pillow.
I think we're on
Thank
the
you.
other side already. So.
Yeah, we're on that other side. Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, and I think I glanced over there to my dad as well. I'm like, yeah, pretty neat tricks you got there. You learned that out here.
Yeah. I had I ended up having this like massive baseball card collection that I got. Like I just showed up and I had like a house and there was like all these like baseball cards and stuff. It was super cool. I've gotten really into it because it's like, and you see he starts taking down like telling you about like, so this guy, he played like 50 years back. He only had 2 at bats, but he had 2 homers in both at bats. It's crazy. Like he only got 2 at bats, but he only homered. So he's only like he's just like
Yeah.
he's going like stat nerd.
And I'm like listening and like as I would when I was a kid, just feel like enthralled with all of it because like I feel like that this is exactly how Cannon's love for baseball happened, was just like listening to his dad like talk about all the stuff he nerded out about. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I think Davis sees that and he's like, he's missing his own dad.
Mhm.
And he's like, dang, I should probably be more like this guy. Like, you know, he's like feeling a bit of whatever. I think it's just literally like, you know, sick throw.
Like-
Sick there.
Really saved us.
I just realized.
Yeah.
You have a bardic inspiration left.
Oh.
Roll a 14 in your perception. Roll a d6 for me.
Hey.
17.
Cool. You were the person who needed to roll a DC 15 to see.
Good.
As the books were coming in, they're sectioned off by authors, and you see there is a section that says Hendrix, which is Milo's last name.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I go over?
Yeah, you can 100% go over there. You go over there, and you see there are probably like a good like 2 rows full of books that all, and you've never seen them before. They don't look like things you've seen, but they're very like fancy. And the way like sci-fi covers, they'll have the design on the front and like carries over to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you just see all of these books. There's no title on them. They're like, and you take them off, and there's like really cool images of like spaceships and like aliens and like all these different things. But there's no title on it. It just says Milo Hendrix on the bottom. And you open one of them up, and you see it's just like writing. It's just like sci-fi novels here. You actually recognize one as one you read of Milo's when he was in creative writing class in college. And you just sort of go through here and realize that there is a place where all of and you realize it's like almost all of the things you feel like he's probably written in his life are like in this space. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Lily like starts to kind of sit with understanding why people get placed in certain parts of the world, and thinking about how like Milo hasn't gotten to write for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as you get to the end, again, the color thing that happens is a slow process. It's one of those things. It's like it starts from where the grouse like gets destroyed. It's like you see a brighter color there, and it's slowly kind of getting out. And the books are coming back, and the shelves are getting filled. And then, so sort of once you get over to that shelf, not all like some of the books, it almost crosses over. as you realize, like, you open up one and it's fully blank. And as the color comes back, you see the words that were there and had been in the process of being erased.
I think I'm gonna actually then go up to Davis and say like, "Hi, like I love the. I saw that you paused before hitting, and I think I know that it didn't work out, but I actually think that sometimes your problem is you always assume you know what's coming, and I don't think that's the wrong approach to take at the plate. So I'm still 3-0 on you. But
I think Davis is looking at the ground. He's like, internally, maybe he cast a message on accident. He's like, oh, that's good advice.
I'm gonna say that is absolutely a message you hear. That's good advice.
But externally, he's like, whatever.
Cool. So you see that the 4 angels, baseball angels, I guess that's what I call them, come out and meet you guys yesterday. The 3 that weren't joined Dave. And they all said, all right, where we need to get for y'all is a couple more days that way. So, Ken, I know you're dealing with something right now there.
Yeah.
We think Ray could probably carry you, if that's all right. If you can't walk, that's fine, but also Ray can carry you if you need.
I'll try to walk it off. I always walk through.
Dave taps you on the back. That's right, walk it off.
Can I cast a message to Cannon and be like, dude, I saw Ray heal all of these like souls, dude. Maybe just walk with Ray. But I'm still walking.
Yeah. So they start walking. And Davis, if you walk, none of the angels have turned. You just start walking.
Yeah.
See Flash.
Literally.
Davis, where are you going, Davis?
I thought we were all supposed to leave.
Yeah, we're gonna leave, but why are you in the lead at the moment?
He's like, dude, I'm following my soul, guys. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. They all turn into it. I'm following Davis. Catch up really quickly. Ray comes over and says, "If we wait a couple hours, I can fix you up. Okay, you don't have to wait to sleep. I just need a couple hours."
Sure.
And you all begin to move. I think now what we're going to do is, I think we're just going to fast travel this. I don't think there's not going to be stealth checks. I think, at the moment, I'll say like maybe I'll let you all roll this with advantage because the idea being like you guys are sort of traveling in a long period of time, and it's sort of just, again, a check for like things you would like be looking for as you sort of like walk these places. We're going to fast forward like a day and a half, 2 days, so you can long rest for everyone. So conditions and stuff
Nice.
do drop spell slots refresh.
18.
18.
Dirty 20.
What
were we rolling?
Skill.
I was gonna say a skill of some kind of that, like what you're again. If you're like keened in on the magic of the place, if you roll Arcana, if you're keened in, if you want more on like the people you're with, that'd be insight, or the people you may run into, or perceptions about this physical space. So
real quick, as we're like rolling and stuff, I think in this time, if Davis is gonna do any sort of check, especially if it's like a wisdom check, but any check, I just like I want Cannon to like sort of tap him on the shoulder and be like, all right, make sure you're focused up and like look at like what we're looking at. And then I think unintentionally also, you feel sort of like a warmth from his hand onto your shoulder, and then he like unknowingly casts guidance for you. So you add a D4.
Add a D4 to this roll.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah. I will say Davis does have bardic inspiration. You could add to help with this roll, but Davis would.
For myself?
No.
Oh, add a bardic. Oh, I can use this as a bonus
You
action.
could bardic someone else if you wanted to.
Can I just pass it back? We're just ping pong.
Yeah, 100%. What do you say back to give Cannon that bardic?
I look up because I needed that affirmation, and I'm like, thanks. I'm also feeling warm from what Lily just said, but I'm not acknowledging that externally, so it manifests itself in this way where I'm like, thanks.
And Davis saying something kind and authentic to you is enough to empower you with the
Finally got through to one of the
Just
kids.
like having a human moment with Davis. So yeah, let me know what skill you rolled and yeah.
I was rolling for perception. I think I would want to try to look to see if, like, what we were going towards, and like if noticing that the color had left where we had been,
And seeing
like,
the color where you're at. Yeah.
and just trying to figure out like what does it seem like we're going towards.
Yeah. You were dirty 20, right?
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
22 Arcana. I think Davis is just like, he's freaked out by the growl still, but he's like, okay, it's like doable to like kill this thing. You notice the ichor, you notice like, you know, that green, and I think he's a little freaked out by like the changing of the colors, and he's just like kind of hyper aware right now of like where things are coming from and how they're manifesting.
Yeah.
I think I decided to roll for insight because I think I want to get more feel of the group and how we're doing.
Yeah.
So I didn't roll the bardic yet, but
Nice.
actually, yeah. Insight is +3, so 18 plus 4, 22 total for that. Just so like, because we already have a lot of eyes just like looking at and trusting the angels and stuff for like the path to get where we need to go. I kind of want to just make sure that we're all sort of like at least morale's sake, I guess, trying to like make sure the mood is like staying like positive, or at least like we're feeling like we're headed in the right direction and stuff,
100%.
especially with these two, and then
Yeah.
and then also
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. 22 is high enough. What is Davis and Lily feeling? What's Cannon's insight?
Oh, what are we feeling?
Yeah.
I think Davis is like still thinking out loud a bit of like, I just gotta slow down. I'm at the plate. Gotta watch these pitches. Can't just swing. He's like sort of rambling through that in his head, and he's also like, what is going on here? He's a little nervous. You can tell like there's so much chatter in his head. So like he's just like super nervous, but like going miles per hour internally, racing.
I think Lily's thinking about two things. I think she definitely was shaken by her, like, kind of like having a view into what her partner, like, wants to do, and kind of thinking about, like, what all that she's put him through for, like, continuing to pursue her own dream, and then, like, what Kathy said about, like, her not gonna be loving baseball like much later in life, and just kind of reconciling. Like, I think she's going through like a kind of, I think she's very silent and looking down, looking around and just not engaging, and kind of like trying to work through like what, you know, and then there's the on top of that is like, okay, well, are we even gonna make it out of this place? But I think she's really thinking about, you know, if we do go back, how can she go back knowing everything that she knows now, and like, continue on the same path that she was on. And then I think she's also like really excited about how the like three of us seem to be gelling. I think like she sees a lot of people in her life in Davis, of like being like, it reminds her of May, it reminds her of her sister, just people who like really excel, and like I think she is wanting to continue to try to like break open basically like the relationships there.
Yeah. And I guess as we journey through, like, just want to take time with each of y'all as well, just to like like sensing that there's like more on your minds and like the goal that we're going through. I guess like for Lily, we're like, well, for start off, like, got a hell of an arm there. Yeah, but still troubled by, still feeling all right.
Yeah, a lot of things to think about. I mean, on the top, like throwing here, I don't feel pain, and if I'm being honest, that's never true in the real world. Every time I throw, I feel like I'm at risk of another big setback, and I don't think I really processed that until I threw without any sort of fear or pain here. So I'm just trying to process that and figure out how I'm gonna bring that back home if we ever make it there.
Well, I mean, from knowing you and this time here in the afterlife together, you're a smart kid. Even though you clearly look 30 you're a smart kid. Like, you know, whether or not that arm of yours still hurts when we're out of here and not like. I know you're gonna figure it out, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Like, there's a lot in here that I know you could do. So, yeah. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't try not to worry too much about it right now, because I know you are more than capable to succeed in any way that you want. So.
Thanks. I think this is like one of the first time that Lily's really gotten kind of like that kind of direct.
Davis, wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh Lord.
Not a bad. It's okay.
Okay. 8.
8 minus.
Oh.
-4.
Cool. So that's a 4.
4.
Cool. I think you in this moment have, because you're overhearing this conversation, forgot what they looked like before and see a 25-year-old man
Say that.
like a woman in her mid-40s of like, kid, and you're just a bit, it's a fine reaction. You hear it, it seems sweet and stuff, but you are a bit confused, like, why is he calling her kid?
Right. It's weird. It's odd.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also also want to get a little time with Davis as well, just to talk and be like, like you, even though you whiffed out there with that hit, like it's the most teamwork I've seen you do, all weekend, these past couple days. I don't even know how time works anymore here, but yeah, I hope this doesn't concern you a little bit, but seeing that like green stuff come out of the grouse, I did notice when Dave showed us the video back or whatever that was, some of it did come out of your little casket pod. So
Davis's heart drops to his stomach.
yeah,
Like fully.
yeah, but I don't mean for that to like give you concern right now, but it's one that because you've run off multiple times now, and like I'm scared that's gonna like end up getting you killed out here. But seeing you follow through, and like the reason why you came on the show is to get onto a team, right?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm finally getting to see you act like that, like you're trying to be part of the team. So keep that up, because either you buy in or you're gonna set yourself up to that monster. So
I think Davis, and his instinct is to be like a bit pissed off about this, a bit irritated, but like what actually is coming over him is like a lot of like appreciation for someone like shooting straight with him. And he just like nods, like in the most like, he's not as like swagging his walk right now. He's just like kind of like doting along, and it's like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just keep it up. We'll see through.
One point, probably after like again, night is not the right word, but the second, like sort of before, after you guys have had one rest, and then you guys are going, and then this second time in there, I'll actually say, as an extension of that insight check, I think you have a lot of conversations with your dad. I think he starts like telling you a lot of stuff, like just about what he's done here. Like I think it's this weird kind of dynamic shift, because I think normally, particularly like I think when kids haven't talked to parents in a long while, like it's usually the parents like really like asking a lot of questions, and it's not that he's not interested in you, but it's sort of, he does that early on, and it becomes like apparent as you start telling it. It's like he knows it all, like he's like he just knows everything, that like he knows a lot about your life. And so just sort of naturally you start asking him questions, and then he's talking about the world, the afterlife. He's talking about going to all these baseball games. He's talking about, he does explain to you that, because I imagine you at some point, he mentions like going to games, and you being like, so were you the only person in the stands? Or, and him like explaining, he goes, well, that's one, there's like a stadium for like family. So like if you play there for family, then the people who are here can fill it up. He's just telling you like all this, and you realize like he's had this like rich experience here, like connecting with a lot of folks. He mentions like there's cousins and like grandparents and stuff who he like knows here who aren't even like in the baseball world or in the library. Like you realize there's like a world of dance, and there's like all these different places where like all these different people ended up. And I think, though, even with all that said, a 22 insight is high enough that you can feel the sadness in your father about the fact that you are going, like, he wants you to leave soon, you know? I think that even, like, it is this bittersweet moment of, like, having these beautiful conversations and learning all of this. And also, like, you know, it's, you know, like, it's like you got the flight scheduled to the next day, you know, it's like you feel that in kind of the back of things. On the Arcana check and the Perception check, I'll say what you both get, and then I'll sort of give some more specific details on that. One thing is, as you're walking, there is, you realize, like, as you walk further out, that there's actually a lot more vibrant color, and it's like, I think one of the things that Lily would definitely put 2 and 2 together is, because I don't think Davis was there when the Sky Explained. Maybe he was, but he probably wasn't paying attention. But the grouse can, like, kind of just tell, like, they do seem to, like, be able to appear in places that isn't always consistent. It's like more common the closer you get to these, like, borders with this anti-creation space, the more likely they are. And so you actually get through and you realize, like, oh, this is, like, one of the more rich, like, vibrant places that seem somewhat unaffected. And then in the second day of travel, you start seeing more of kind of these dull colors a bit, like, not to the point where you see souls take it over, but just the colors themselves have dulled. And you realize the horizon looks duller. Like, you realize, like, the distance, there is just a beginning to come into vision, almost a sea of, like, a gray. I think on the 22 Arcana check, a thing you start to see is, like, remnants of the green ichor, and you realize it's not, like, in the same way where it was in Purgatory where it was, like, flowing and stuff. It's not that. You just see, like, almost like stained ground, and it's like the way that, like, a dark green sometimes as it fades becomes, like, blacker just because it, like, loses that hue. So you're wondering, like, what is this stuff that's, like, and it's almost like, and you see more of it as again you get further in your travels, and you feel like it's almost like scars, and you realize, like, you look at some books, you open them, Davis looks at the covers of books, he doesn't open them, and you see, like, ways in which, like, there's, like, a title that there are once, and just the rest of it is, like, scarred out, and I think Davis is able to intuit a level of, this is probably area that it like, these are things that were permanently lost, that that not everything can always be brought back as it was. And that and I think on a 20 perception, I think you actually notice something about the angels you're walking with. I think you overhear conversations, and you overhear very, like, sibling talks between, like, Ray, Kathy, and Flash, even Dave. It's like Dave is strong older brother energy with them, like, but it's a fun look to see them all together going back and forth. But you notice as you're sort of approaching the end of the second day that they seem to have gotten quieter, and you stop being able to hear what they're saying, which makes you think they're talking about y'all. And I think sort of you come to the place where you find, like, you picked the genre last time. Pick the genre of the place and library. What kind of?
You chose sci-fi last time, right? All right. Let's go with, like, surrealist. Surrealism.
It's very cool.
Cool. So you walk into this place, and you see, like, as you walk into it, all of you begin to, like, look different. Like, you become, like, just, like, but not in a way that's, like, painful or horrible. It's just, like, and it's one of those things, like, your eyes adjust and understand it, but visually you do look different. Just, like, ways in which, like, your eye just, like, swirls up and, like different, like, all these crazy things. Flash looks wild. In particular, it looks absolutely crazy. You see Flash's bat has, like, just, like, looks 20 feet long now. Like, it's just, like, fully extended. You see, like, there's almost, like, a permanent flame at the top. And you come into, like, just seems like a building. They go in, like, we can take, we're going to take the night to take some time just to rest up here. before we make our final push, you see Kathy takes kind of leans forward with the four of you, Cannon's father, and says, "So we've reached the point of travel that we can do in the confines of the library. Tomorrow, we are going to have to cross into places controlled by what we are opposed to. The Fiction, Write, and Speak have told us that they are going to mount an attack about 15 miles to the north of where we need to go. That's going to start tomorrow morning. We are not going to have the aid of those soldiers. We are going to be sneaking and trying to stay undercover to get you all to the Sacred Mound. Once you are there, it is the four of our jobs to make sure you guys are able to cast the spells that you need to reconnect with your bodies. That might mean we're going to have to split up, and we are going to have to try to create some level of perimeter around you guys at a certain point. And in case that happens, I'm going to try to explain to you now what you will need to do in case we are not there to guide you." She hands you each a ring. I'm going to hand each of you can take one of these. And they look at you, and you see it kind of looks like, it's like a full mirror. There isn't like a emerald or jewel on it. It's just kind of just a super reflective ring. And he says, "This ring gives you the power to cast a spell called Blink, which allows you to travel between planes. When you are atop the Sacred Mound, it will enable you to reconnect with your bodies. It is not something that happens instantaneously, so there is a chance. So what I'm going to tell you now, if we are separated, you need to get to the top of the mountain as quickly as you can, cast it as soon as you can, and wait and defend yourselves for as long as you can. And at some point in time, it will work, but it is not going to be something that you can just climb to the top, cast, and be wished away." I guess this is just so we don't have to do this tomorrow. Are there any questions or things that we can do for you? We've tried to imbue you with as much power and knowledge as we can in this short time. I know it's a lot. I know it's not fair, but it's all we've had the opportunity to.
And Davis looks around and he's like, "We're a team. We got this."
Yeah, I think I say that, like, definitely ready to go. But then internally still, he's like, Cass is still out there. You know, find her too and get her back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's internal.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you expect to be up there?
Mhm.
There may be some souls of folks who've been lost. There may be some monsters like the ones we've seen. If the attack further north goes as well as we hope, we don't believe there will be many people. You all can roll an insight check.
6.
That's 3. 8.
15.
6.
Cool.
Eight.
On a 15, exactly meets the. This would be a sort of deception.
I have guidance too, but that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Well, I need to cast it every time.
No, no, it's not. You see, on a 15, you're able to intuit from Kathy. She is speaking from a place of foreignness. I think you're able to intuit from this. They've never gone behind the lines before, and she's just guessing.
Yeah.
The souls that we've come across, I noticed that at that last battle, Ray and Fiction and Speaking right were all being attacked by them and doing something to them. I wasn't knowing that they are souls like us. I was hesitant to attack. But if we're trying to get away and we're being surrounded, like, what would you recommend?
Dave? And Dave follows up. I'm kind of the philosopher. Well, the easiest answer is they don't move very fast. So if y'all can outrun them, then you don't have to worry about that.
David says, "Cool," and starts like kind of walking away to like
Davis,
sit
we're
down.
gonna rescue the night. It's not-
He's just sitting down. He's like walking
You know
away
what?
and
You
sit
said you were proud. You were a good team. You know what? I don't like that bad.
No, actually, I think I'll at this point be like, Davis, come on.
and David just kind of like does the thing where like he's like sideways, but it's like, you know, like one foot in, one foot out.
He goes, we are going far enough back where it is possible that some of these souls may have already been lost. We've seen, or I should, I've seen some souls that have lost the shape of the person that once had them. If there's the easiest way to know that is that they're the hole in their heart will have expanded and they will simply have a circle and a hollow chest. Any other entity, I am not going to tell you not to attack them if they are what prevents you, if they are trying to prevent you from getting to that place, getting back home. But if you are able to heal them, again, seems like Canon might have some ability to do that, then do not worry about that. But again, I'd like to give you an easy answer. I think for our top priority is getting you home, and so you have to make the decision for what on that on your own.
Do you know where the other souls were from the baseball afterlife that were here with us when we got here?
No, we don't know exactly how it works, where souls go when they first get taken. We do know that they are closer to the border the more recently they have been. So I can tell you that.
Has anyone successfully done this before?
Not baseball souls, but many others. We're on the younger side.
think Davis is feeling really confident for some reason.
All right.
He's feeling really good about this. It's probably because like the new
Well,
trips.
Do we have to be standing on the mound after we cast it?
you'll need to stay at the top.
Okay.
Well, it's a good thing you got a hell of an arm.
Hang on that. There's a little break. I think Flash walks forward. He goes, but that's all tomorrow problems? There's 3 of y'all. It's 3 of us who play. Want to go? As he drops the bat.
Davis is like pops his hands, cracks his neck. It's like, up to you guys. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
And he's sort of looking at his younger looking. Like, you know what? I think one more time back on the diamond wouldn't be bad.
And you see they go outside and like quickly. Dave has like quickly like has just magically the like chalk for the foul lines, but like design something up where the field isn't quite as large. It's much more narrow, and you realize it's because for 3-on-3 there is a pitcher, there is an infielder, there's an outfielder, and the way the rule works is essentially you get a point if you're able to hit it past the last line of defense.
Cool.
In this narrow avenue. Kathy takes the mound. They are the home team. Kathy takes the mound. Ray drops the catching gear, goes under the infield, and you see Flash in center field, which he's going to bat leadoff.
Should we roll initiative?
You know, you can make your own lineup.
Okay.
I would say, I think I would set you up. Yeah.
To lead?
Yeah.
I've never hit higher than 9, so I think y'all should start, and I'll bring up the rear because
I think Davis is like, if anybody's on base and I'm hitting, coming in. So it's up to you, coach.
Yeah. Since you're so confident, get it.
And he's like, cool. He couldn't wait to get up there. Like, bats twirling,
Yep.
very much
All
back
right,
into
Davis, you're first up.
Cool.
I'll roll for Kathy. I'll roll down here. That don't count.
I'm just adding to my hitting.
Yep, you're hitting.
I'll put the box here in case whenever you want to do
oh
that.
yeah, there it is.
Okay.
What do you get?
27.
Now it's time to roll a separate check. 27?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Kathy does not have a glove on
Oh.
and is still juggling, and he's doing the exact same juggling, and just turns sideways to you and goes like that, almost like a bowling ball.
Oh.
And it goes way up, loops, and comes straight towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down, it doesn't move anymore. That's just like a fastball.
Embarrassing.
You're sitting on it, it comes blowing outside. You hit a liner straight, way over Ray, doesn't have a shot, and you see Flash as though is running back, and Flash covers a lot of ground super quickly. Reaches out, dives just over Flash's glove. Flash got 26 on the field check to catch your ball. And lands. That's a point for y'all.
I started laughing and staring at him. Yo, Flash, you gotta be better than that.
That's only because I helped you out earlier. All right, Cannon,
That
you're up next.
All right.
Oh, that's
So
cocked.
I've actually never done these, so it's just a batting.
You're just
check.
gonna add your batting modifier.
Nat 20. Didn't win 4 rings for nothing.
Crushing him.
What's your plus to hitting as well?
10.
So that's a 30.
30.
All right. Kathy rolled a 16, but Nat 20's a Nat 20. She's an angel. She has. Whew. Okay. What happens on Nat 20?
I think he feels reinvigorated, sort of being in this like younger body. So
Yeah.
it's like, just feels like when he was in his prime all over again.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just second nature for him. So like as he sees the ball come in, it's like, I haven't done this in a while, but it just teleported back to that time when probably like one of the championship runs where probably had like a walk-off or something. Yeah, I think he just teleports back to that time and just reenacts that moment.
I love that.
Deepa, I already got 2 points. Lily, you're up to bat. This is next.
Can I
Give
do
me a nat
guidance
one.
on this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I do some heroes?
Give me a nat
I don't
one.
know if you need it. Wait, can I have guidance?
Yeah,
Can I like
100%.
Yeah.
tap on the back like,
It's
no,
a-
I know you're a pitcher, but you got this.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then you get
D4.
the guidance.
Mhm.
Yeah, D4. Okay.
It's a 7.
Needed it.
Well, what's your hitting mod? Is it 0?
It's 0.
Okay. Kathy has a plus 15. Like, if it wasn't that 20, you would have lost because she rolled a 16.
Oh dang.
She rolled that one.
Oh!
So what happens with a nat 1 with a...
I do think. Oh, okay. I'm losing on my die because I'm rolling too wild. There's another one. Even you make contact, but Ray feels it up. But you do. It is like a crazy, just like whirlwind of like almost a figure 8 towards you, and you just kind of sit back there, super quick to the ball, like almost like playing a game of Pepper. You just pop it back, and Ray catches it.
Lily is ecstatic. I cannot believe she made contact. This is a win for the whole team.
All right, we're gonna sort of fast forward when you swap sides. Lily, you're on the mound. You both are infielders, so one of you's gonna have to play the outfield.
Does the glove
What
of
did you play? What position did you play?
quick
Second
pitching
base.
add on to...
I got it all, man. I'll go to the outfield.
I'll say it lets you add.
I've seen you run
D4.
enough. I think you got it. Running up this fast. I think you can. Yeah, I trust you back there.
That's too funny.
All right. And are my pitching stats
Ooh,
reinstated?
that's a good question. Are your pitching stats reinstated?
It gotta be.
It must be.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, they
It's-
give
you
it
know
the
what,
highest
you're-
they can.
you know what? I took your souls away. I can give you. All right, so you'll have plus 13 on your pitching.
There you go.
All right.
Oh.
Who's up first?
Flash.
Get him.
Get him.
He's not seeing anything with heat on it. This is all break. Okay, 14 plus 13, 27.
Cool. You both can roll field checks.
Eight.
26.
Cool.
Nice.
Sorry, which one of you was the outfield?
Me.
Cool. You get first pitch strike. Flash takes it. All right. Come back. What do you start? What give me the pitch mix in
Yeah.
their order. What do
Oh,
you start now?
okay. The first pitch is gonna be like dotted on the outside
Mhm, yeah.
corner.
First pitch fastball.
Then it's like a back foot slider. That's Lily's.
Yeah. Flash easy take 1-1. Doesn't even flinch at it.
Yeah. So she's going right back. She's going right back there.
Cool. To the back foot or
Yeah,
outside?
to the back foot.
Back foot. Cool. You see Flash as your pitch comes out. It goes out.
Okay.
Steps back, leans forward, and basically moves the strike zone for himself. Hits it square.
Yard.
Ball's gone. Rolled an 18 on the die, plus 15 was a 33 for Flash.
What are you gonna do?
It's now coming up
Davis is taking a move.
is Ray.
Alright.
Oh, want me guidance? Because I don't.
Yes.
This is a one-time thing.
No,
this
I
is
gave a D4 for the magic.
quick
Oh, that's
pitch.
right. It's
Yeah,
a thing.
helping. Yeah,
Oh,
for baseball.
Oh God, that's a 6 plus that's a 19.
You ain't seen Ray in action. You just throw a fastball, and that was the mistake. Ray
Yard.
belted.
Can I yell some words of inspiration?
Yes,
For
100%.
inspiration? I'm like, hey, you got him next time. Is this one?
Kathy comes to
Gains
the
a
plate.
1d6.
Cool. It's 2-2. Kathy's up to the plate.
16 plus 13 is 29.
Kathy rolling that one.
Kathy.
Ate a lot.
You see,
It's too goofy.
you see Kathy's just like dancing in the batter's box. Just takes 3 strikes. That's the situation. I'm having a great time. I'm a pitcher, y'all. And you all have a wonderful. You just spend the evening playing baseball, and that is where we're gonna end today's episode of Critical Hit. Last chance. Make sure to like and subscribe. Going over, join our Patreon for more behind-the-scenes content. We're gonna have to talk back here, and then the finale coming up next. See you next time.
Woo!
That's great.
Woo! Davis. You are ahead of the grouse in initiative order.
Yeah.
So, you get one more roll on that d20 on 11 through 20. Wolfhaven Wayne's grouse will not get 2 attacks.